broken heart? Your best friends, man, your family, and lots of junk food.
What happens when one of the world's most recognizable pop stars and a leader on the global stage are caught in a secret romance nobody could have predicted? In a world where celebrity lives are constantly under a microscope, some secrets are too explosive to stay hidden. This is the story of how a single photograph ignited a firestorm, revealing a connection that could change everything for two of the most famous people on the planet. The news broke like a tidal wave, originating from a place of sun, wealth, and secrecy. A private yacht cutting through the calm waters off the coast of Santa Barbara. It was here that photographers captured a series of images that seemed almost too surreal to be real. There was Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, a man known for his polished political image and steady family life. And right beside him was Katy Perry, the global music sensation famous for her vibrant costumes and chart-topping hits. The photos, published by the Daily Mail, were anything but ambiguous. They showed the two laughing, leaning in close, and sharing what appeared to be an intimate kiss, far from the prying eyes of the world. Or so they thought. The internet immediately erupted. Questions flew faster than a viral tweet. How did this happen? When did this start? And weren't they both with other people? To understand the sheer shock of that moment, you have to understand the context. This wasn't just two single celebrities enjoying a day at sea. This was a story unfolding in the immediate aftermath of two major public heartbreaks. Just weeks earlier, Justin Trudeau had announced his separation from Sophie Gregoire, his wife of 18 years. Theirs was a relationship that had been a cornerstone of his political identity, a symbol of stability and partnership. The announcement of their divorce sent ripples through the political world, but it was framed as a quiet, mutual decision. On the other side of the celebrity spectrum, Katy Perry was dealing with her own stunning romantic upheaval. Her engagement to Hollywood actor Orlando Bloom, with whom she shares a daughter, was suddenly and inexplicably called off. For years, they had been a beloved A-list couple, seemingly on the path to a lifetime together. Now, both Trudeau and Perry were navigating the world as newly single individuals, each nursing the wounds of a collapsed long-term relationship. But no one could have imagined they'd find solace with each other. However, the yacht photos weren't the beginning of the story. They were just the moment the world caught on. For those paying close attention, the first whispers of a connection had surfaced 3 months earlier, far from the California coast. The setting was Montreal, where Katy Perry was touring. It was during this time that insiders reported a secret, intimate dinner between the singer and the Prime Minister. The sighting was so improbable that it was largely dismissed as a baseless rumor, a fantasy cooked up by gossip blogs. How could a world leader find the time to dine privately with a pop star in the middle of her tour? It seemed impossible. But now, with the evidence of their Santa Barbara rendezvous, that Montreal dinner is being seen in a new light. It wasn't just a rumor. It was the prologue, the secret first chapter of a story that was about to become a global spectacle. And it suggested their connection was far deeper and more calculated than a simple, spontaneous fling. As the news exploded, all eyes turned to the two people left in the wake of this new, shocking romance, Orlando Bloom and Sophie Gregoire. Their silence was deafening. While the world was dissecting every photo and rumor, both Orlando and Sophie remained publicly mute. There were no official statements, no pointed social media posts, nothing. In the world of celebrity breakups, silence is often the loudest statement of all. Sources close to both camps suggested they were blindsided and completely shocked by the news. For Sophie, who had spent nearly 2 decades building a life and family with Justin, the sight of him moving on so publicly and so unexpectedly was said to be a devastating blow. Orlando, who had been co-parenting his daughter Daisy with Katy, was reportedly left confused and hurt, wondering when and how this new relationship had even begun. Their refusal to comment only added to the drama, painting a picture of two individuals trying to process a betrayal that was now being broadcast for the entire world to see. While Sophie maintained her dignified silence, Orlando Bloom may have sent his own coded message. Just days after the yacht photos went public, the actor posted a picture of himself on Instagram, staring out at a stormy sea. The caption was simple and cryptic: "The tide always turns." Immediately, his followers began to interpret the post as a direct response to the situation with Katy. Was it a philosophical reflection on life's changes, or was it a subtle warning? Fans argued it was a sign of his heartbreak, a man watching his life's plans get washed away by an unexpected storm. Others saw it as something more ominous, a reminder that actions have consequences, and that the calm waters of a new romance can quickly turn treacherous. Whatever his intention, the post added another layer of intrigue to the unfolding drama, suggesting that the jilted ex-fiancé was watching, waiting, and sending a message that he wouldn't be forgotten in this new narrative. But the personal drama was only half the story. A storm was also brewing in the world of politics. For a sitting world leader like Justin Trudeau, a public romance with a pop star is a high-stakes gamble. His image has always been carefully curated, that of a progressive, serious, yet relatable leader. But this new relationship threatened to shatter that image. In the halls of Canadian power, questions began to surface. Was this behavior befitting of a prime minister? Pundits on news channels debated the potential political fallout. Some argued it made him look frivolous and distracted from his duties, a leader more interested in Hollywood glamour than national affairs. Others, however, offered a different take. They claimed it could actually be a political asset, humanizing him in a way that speeches and policy announcements never could. It made him appear passionate, modern, and daring. A man who wasn't afraid to live his life, even under the intense scrutiny of the public eye. The question remained, would voters see him as a reckless romantic or a leader who was simply and refreshingly human? Only time would tell how this personal choice would impact his professional standing. While Trudeau's career was being debated, Katy Perry's public image was undergoing its own radical transformation. This was not the first time the singer had dipped her toes into politics. She was a vocal supporter of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign and had often used her platform to encourage voting and political engagement. But this was different. This wasn't just activism. This was a personal entanglement with a world leader. Suddenly, people began to see her in a new light, not just as the artist who sang Firework, but as a potential player on the global stage. Was this a deliberate pivot? Was Katy Perry, one of the most successful pop stars of her generation, looking to trade the music charts for a seat at the table of international influence? This romance placed her in circles of power that few entertainers ever access, and it sparked a debate about whether she was crafting a new chapter for herself, one where her influence would extend far beyond the realm of pop music. As analysts and fans tried to piece together how this unlikely duo even connected, a trail of missed clues began to emerge. Sifting through years of photo archives, internet sleuths started to uncover past events where both Katy and Justin had been in the same room. A United Nations summit here, a high-profile charity gala there. At the time, these were non-events. They were just two famous figures moving in the same orbit. But looking back, with the knowledge of their secret romance, these old photos took on new meaning. A brief, polite handshake was re-examined as a moment of hidden sparks. A shared laugh in a crowded room was reinterpreted as the beginning of a secret joke. It painted a picture that this wasn't a random, sudden affair. It suggested that the seeds of their connection had been planted long ago, right under our noses, waiting for the right moment to finally bloom. The public had missed it, but had someone else been orchestrating it all along? The idea that this was all a coincidence started to seem less and less plausible. Rumors began to swirl that their relationship was no accident, but had been quietly encouraged by a powerful inner circle of mutual friends. In the elite world where A-list celebrities and global politicians intersect, there are certain connectors, people who move seamlessly between both spheres. Names of influential tech billionaires, fashion moguls, and philanthropists were whispered as potential matchmakers. According to insiders, these friends saw two people navigating the pain of public breakups and decided to intervene. They allegedly facilitated the secret dinner in Montreal and helped them stay in contact without alerting the press. If true, it means their romance was nurtured in a cocoon of secrecy, protected by a loyal few who knew the potential firestorm that would erupt if the news ever got out. It wasn't just a love story, it was a covert operation. But even if their meeting was orchestrated, the question of their true feelings remained. Was this simply a rebound for two people on the mend, a convenient and exciting distraction from their recent heartbreaks? Or was it something more? The term PDA-packed Yacht Day from the headlines suggested a level of passion that went beyond a casual fling. People who have experienced the end of a long-term relationship often seek comfort. But the photos didn't just show comfort. They showed joy, intimacy, and a powerful physical connection. Friends of Katy were reportedly saying they hadn't seen her this happy in years, while Trudeau's allies noted a new, lighter energy about him. This led many to believe that they weren't just using each other to get over their exes. Instead, they may have stumbled into a genuine, intense connection that neither of them had been looking for. A classic case of finding love when you least expect it. While the world debated the romance, a quieter, more personal drama was also at play. Katy Perry is not just a pop star. She is a mother to a 5-year-old daughter, Daisy Dove Bloom. The end of her relationship with Orlando Bloom already meant a significant change for her family structure. Now, embarking on a high-profile international romance with a world leader added a whole new layer of complexity. How would she balance her daughter's need for stability with a relationship that would inevitably be lived under the glare of the global media? The logistics alone were daunting, with Katy based in California and Justin in Canada. It was a high-stakes gamble. A new relationship is always a risk, but for Katy, it involved more than just her own heart. It was a decision that would inevitably shape the life of her young child, and it raised the question of whether this whirlwind romance could truly fit into the reality of her life as a mother. As could be expected, public opinion on the matter was fiercely divided. Social media became a battleground for two opposing camps. On one side, there were the supporters who championed the pairing. They called them a power couple, a perfect blend of pop culture and political influence. They celebrated the romance as something exciting and refreshingly modern, a sign that even world leaders have a right to a personal life. On the other side, however, was a growing wave of criticism. Many labeled the relationship as reckless and inappropriate. Political critics in Canada accused Trudeau of a serious lapse in judgment, while some of Katy Perry's fans worried she was getting into a world that was too complicated and potentially dangerous for her. The backlash was intense, with people on both sides arguing passionately about whether this was a fairy tale romance or a catastrophic mistake, turning their love story into yet another polarizing issue in a world already full of them. With no official statements from the couple themselves, people turned to the only evidence they had: the photographs. Body language experts began to appear on news segments, dissecting every image from the yacht. They analyzed the way Justin held Katy's hand, noting it was not a formal, polite gesture, but a tight, intertwined grip that signaled deep intimacy and possession. They pointed to Katy's posture, how she leaned her entire body into his, as a sign of trust and surrender. Her smile, they argued, wasn't a posed for the camera grin, but a genuine expression of unguarded happiness. Even the way they made eye contact in between shots was interpreted as evidence of a powerful, unspoken communication. According to these experts, the photos told a clear story. This was not a casual fling. The body language, they claimed, revealed a couple completely captivated by one another, oblivious to the world and the consequences of their actions. With their secret now out, the biggest question on everyone's mind is what happens next. Will the intense public scrutiny cause them to retreat and hide their relationship from the cameras? Or will they double down and make their debut as an official couple? Speculation is running rampant. Some insiders believe they will try to keep things private, hoping the media storm will eventually die down. But others are predicting a much bolder move. They envision a stunning red carpet appearance at a major international event, like a state dinner or a global climate summit. Such a move would be an undeniable statement, a declaration to the world that they are together and unafraid of the consequences. It would be a power play, merging their two worlds in the most public way imaginable and forcing everyone to accept their new reality. So here we are, left with the story of the pop star and the Prime Minister. It's a narrative built on shocking photos, secret meetings, and the wreckage of two long-term relationships. It's a love story that has divided public opinion and carries massive personal and professional stakes for both of them. In a world where every public figure's life is a carefully managed brand, this raw, unexpected romance feels like something from a different era. But the final chapter is yet to be written. Is this the most unlikely and genuine love story of the decade, a testament to finding happiness when all seems lost? Or is it a reckless, ill-fated affair destined to end in a spectacular public collapse?